Hello, my name is Esther Dageraad. I'm Dutch. I'm currently in France. Since English is not my native language, I've chosen to write a couple of things down to share an idea I have with you. It is about changing social history of mankind in an energetically sound way. Over time, we've developed our democratic voting systems on which elders are representing the people in the various tribes. Through our social history, we have seen how we organized that voting rights were granted to categories of people that were not regarded to be a suitable part of that decision-making process before. So we've seen, in the currently most influential tribes in the world, that the voting rights went from categories of people recognized to be a suitable, sensible part of the tribe with an election, from a happy few noble and clergymen to a wider circle of men on high positions. And then, from a circle of men on high positions to all white men over a certain age. Then, from all white men over a certain age to all white men and women over a certain age. And then from all white men and women over a certain age to men and women of all skin colors over a certain age. And that is roughly the situation as we have it today. So a tribe feels the need for change of leadership and starts organizing an election. Candidates present themselves, and the adults who are identified to be part of that tribe get to vote for the candidate of their choice. That is basically a battle, revolving around pros and cons, usually debating on various issues, separately, one at a time. The person or the people who win, they gain the decision-making powers of the people in that tribe. That is how it goes now. That is how we believe it is practice of best modern-day democracy. That is also how we believe that everybody who is involved in the issues the elders will make decisions about after the elections get a fair say on what they shall choose when it comes to representing their desires for the nearby future. But wait a second, is that really true? Is that really the highest understanding we have about it? What if I say that if a tribe only lets the adults vote, the tribe is missing out on the input and influence of a large part of the people who objectively have the most interest in decisions being made with an eye on the long term, for they are likely to live with the effects the most, the children of the tribe. Okay, hold your objections about the voting and choosing abilities of that category of members. What if I say that if a tribe with a large intertribal influence only lets the people vote they identify as members of the tribe, then the tribe is missing out on the input and influence of a large part of people who objectively have an enormous interest in decisions being made with an eye on the quality of the intertribal relationships. Okay, hold your objections about the practicalities of asking people in other tribes about their opinions too. Bear with me again. What if I say that if a tribe organizes an election in a polarized way, that means pro this implies the choice con that, whether on a theme, a singled out choice, a choice for parties or president candidates. That way is building in conflict from day one in the decision-making process. It is denying the possibilities that you can be pro this and pro that, or partially pro this and partially pro that, or even see a completely different way that is nor this nor that would work even better. Okay, again, hold your objections. Yes, I see objections that this could create a complete logistical complex nightmare if you were to ask all the people on their individual personal opinions and take those into account on every single issue that arises. Bear with me, stay calm. Still with me? Excellent. I'm an advisor in sustainable community developments. The one community I work with, the one tribe I am a shaman in, which is a spiritual advisor, is called mankind. As a modern-day shaman in jeans, I'm able to look beyond the world of the seen into the world of the unseen, the world of the energetic transactions. That is the myriad of tiny little decisions that make up the foundations of the experiences in our everyday lives in the communities we build and develop. Why? How? What's that? It is the world of thoughts and feelings within the tribe. Some are spoken out loudly, many are only stirring under the bonnet. But all of them are influencing all the decisions we make on where we invest our time and energy in, and how we choose to do that on a moment-to-moment basis, on all levels. What the individual feels and thinks, what the individual thus chooses to do, and how, has an influence on all others in the tribe, sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly. I know that already on the level of those invisible vibes, we all form a grid, all together. Mankind has a collective mind, MIND, which is the infrastructure for the use of managing information for new development. Now here's the thought. There's a big election planned in probably the most intertribal influenced subtribe within the tribe of mankind on Earth. That's a whole mouthful, and it sounds difficult. In plain terms, the United States of America are planning to vote a new president into the White House. So far, it looks to be Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. Both spending millions in campaigning on issues they are usually in very strong words, either pro or con. And they mention what they think is right in easy to pick up one-liners. And they're aiming at the tribe of the people who are granted the right to vote, the American adult citizens. Given the enormous influence the American tribe has within the tribe of mankind, the world is following this with great interest and concerns. Is it fair that the others are sidelined by the happy few in the voting process that is of such impact and importance on the lives of other parts in the tribe of mankind? Could it be that, like the women said around 1900, hey, wait a minute guys, I am a well-thinking, fully contributing part of the tribe you are trying to rule here. Isn't it time that we have a right to be fully part of that important choosing process too? In that light, could it be that now, early 21st century, the non-American inhabitants of the tribe of mankind say, hey, wait a minute you guys and girls, I am a well-thinking, fully contributing part of the tribe you are trying to rule here. Isn't it time that we have a right to be fully part of that important choosing process too? Being in touch with what the development of mankind would really benefit from, what lives in all the hearts of all the inhabitants, this could very well be a great opportunity to alter the voting system altogether. All together. What we all want is living in peace and harmony. And if I say harmony, I spell that har-money, to indicate that it is a prosperous type of harmony. That is something completely different on an energetic level from the fields of war, the competition to be the survivor of the fittest, and focusing on gain for the happy few. But wait a second, I'm aware that if we were now to go campaigning for the voting rights for all members of the tribe of mankind, against only the Americans deciding, we are fully in battle mode with ourselves, wasting precious time and energy. Here's the thought. We are already the tribe of mankind. We already have two structures in place that exchanges all vibes at the speed of light all over the world. The first one you may be most familiar with. That's the internet, with the social media. The second one you may not know so much about. It's called the collective consciousness. The very same grid in the unseen through which prayers book so much result, sending good vibes, healing vibes to where they need to be. And yes, consult the internet. There's enough scientific evidence that when a large group thinks of the very same good thing on the same day, it has impact on the outcome. Like crime rates dropping in an area where a group of people has focused peacefully on. What if we used those resources wisely, in a new, modern, democratic, harmonic way, not by fighting for a right to vote for what is happening somewhere in the tribe? No, by simply executing the right we already have. Wouldn't it be interesting to see what would happen if we could mobilize by an open and fully free invitation, peacefully, through the internet, through television, through newspapers, the thinking and feeling power of all the billions of people, young and old, who have an interest in the developments in the tribe of mankind. How? To pray for, to meditate on, to daydream of, to make a drawing, sing a song, dance a dance, however you see fit. To fill in your energetically voting lot on the candidate this shaman of the tribe of mankind puts forward here as an option to represent us all in the forthcoming years. If I had to word my vote, it would sound something like, I vote for joy. I choose to give priority to the themes peace, pleasure and harmony for the benefit of everybody involved in the tribe of mankind. I know how that would alter the dynamics within our powerful tribe profoundly. The only question is, do you choose it? Would you like to actively vote for this your way, with your thoughts and your joyful vibes, wherever you are in the world on election day, the 8th of November 2016? Just alone or by yourself, or, if you fancy that, in a get-together of the tribe you feel to be yours. There is no need to convince anybody about anything. Confidently knowing that when you consciously, calmly and confidently vibrate that day on your personal desire for joy for all involved, to represent your heart's desires, regardless of the practical theme on the table, your vote counts. So, this is the invitation. Think about it. Feel into it. Talk about it maybe, and when the invitation appeals, share the joy. Enjoy your day. Thank you.